Hey, good morning. Welcome to Yeshiva YouTube table and able. We're finishing another week. Thank God. 145 and Orachayim. Dinei HaMetargamin. Aleph. Mechach Mea Gemara. It's a Gemara Megillah. You know, the Targum, Gdei Shevino Am. They read Targum Onkelos, right? Eina Koy Rasha Likros, a Targum on Yoter and Pasuk Echa. They did it Pasuk by Pasuk, right? The Baal Kore, right? He reads one Pasuk, right? And Matargum Rasha, the Targum, Shilcha Pasuk and Biakor. He has to wait. The Matargum waits until he finishes the Pasuk. He reads one pasuk. Then the Targum says Targum Onkelos, and only when he finishes, then you read the next pasuk. They have to practice before. They shouldn't be louder. I don't think exactly decibel. It has to be exactly the same, but basically, they should both be of the same decibel level, because it's a pasuk the Gemara brings, because it says Moshe would speak and to the people, right, and the people would answer to him. So, um, uh, both the Baal Korah and the Targum have to be, their voices have to be on equal decibel level, relatively. Not only that, but also the Baal Korah shouldn't help out if the Targum forgets the Targum Onkelos. Tell him to open a Chumash. Don't, even if you know the Targum Onkelos by heart because you're a Baal Korah and you memorize not only the Kriya but also the Targum. Don't help him out because other people think the Targum is written in the Torah. Now, this really was a very burdensome thing, but they needed it because people, apparently, in the time of the Gemara, they understood Aramaic, so Targum was in Aramaic. So therefore, it was a good thing. So you should understand it. What about now? We'll talk about in a second. Beis katan b'targum de gadol, a katan. Seemingly this means someone under bar mitzvah. He could be matargum de gadol. There's no problem for a katan to explain something to people. He's a child prodigy. He understands Targum Onkelos at 11 years old, right? He can do it. He can tell other people. But if the katan is the Baal right? I'm gonna have to explain this and Ian to lean on. Katan can't be a Baal right? He is the one who's doing Kriyas Torah. Person reading from the Torah has to be, right? If he wants to be Motzi, the other person Shomea Kaona, right? According to the Maril, is okay. We rely on the Maril. You have to be someone who's a bar mitzvah of age. Otherwise, how could it be a mitzvah of Limud Torah? However, I'm going to explain somehow this makes sense. A katan, if he is reading the Baal Koreh, somehow he's reading. Technically, it could be, let's say, the person who got the Aliyah reads by himself. He knows how to read by himself, or he can mouth along. So he's saying the words. So there's no problem. The katan's not being motzi the rabbim, right? No, the chov is a sibor. No one's being motzi. It's a chov on the sibor. It's not a chov on the yachid. It should be yotze. He's not being motzi the yachid, right? I just want to make sure that someone is reading psukim from the Torah in response to the bracha that the Ola made. So I guess you can envision in a certain sense that a katan would be motzi, because unless Shomea Ka'ona would have to be motzi the Ola is actually reading the words, it would be okay. So in that case, technically it can make sense. The katan is about Koreh. Nonetheless, the katan is about Koreh. A gadol, person who's over 13, shouldn't be the matargim because it looks like a gadol is servicing a katan, right? He's the one that's helping out the Baal Koreh, and that's not a cover for the gadol. Gimel idna lo nagul targim. Nowadays, thank God, we don't have someone reading the Targum. I'm sure the Matu else, but Targum came with the aim of Vinino. So this is a Tosus and Megillah. So no one understands Targum, so it doesn't help you. So I know what you're all thinking. Let's do English, right? So that's what the Mishnah Berurah, the Torah says, right in the Mishnah Berurah. Don't do English because Targum is different. It's written in Lashon HaKodesh. So therefore, there are certain words in the Torah that there's something added in the Targum Onkelos. Sometimes Targum Onkelos will add some nuance to the Torah. That was written in the Ruach HaKodesh. Apparently, Moshe got Targum Onkelos at Har Sinai along with the Torah. So therefore, that's important for the seaboard to hear. English is not so important for to hear. Who has the correct translation of the Bible? Is it the King James version? Is it the Cincino version? Is it the Rav Shamshon Raphael Hirsch and the Rashar Hirsch edition? So we don't know. It doesn't really help us. The English doesn't add anything. So therefore, you shouldn't burden the tzibur with this. The Mishnah Berurah discusses whether you could say the Targum if you wanted to. Tashbit says maybe you should. You could if you wanted to, even if you don't understand it. But the practical halacha is like a Shulchan Aruch. Why burden the tzibur? There's no point in saying the Targum. So we don't say the Targum nowadays. That's the conclusion of today's shiur. Stay tuned for Ian to lean on when I talk about halacha beis, maybe cousin doesn't mean under bar mitzvah, boy. I'll talk about it in a second. Ian Toledo coming up next.